everybody was not happy what I was doing it, right? Because I was, when I was doing the training, I used to just work enough to train myself to, that is the only money that I was making that time. And nobody believed in me that I could do something like this, right? And, everybody hated you wasting your time. Just get over this thing, this is not for you, and all that. But I said, okay, that is your thoughts for me, right? This is what you wanted for me, but what I wanted, I know what I wanted for myself, right?
Good afternoon from India. And first of all, thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule. And it's really an honor that I'm talking to you currently. Um, I'm really much inspired by your gameplay, and I just watched all those highlights. First of all, from the 2016 World Cup, and about all those exceptional performances and everything. So we would like to discuss all those things. So, sir, first, we all are really excited to know your journey from India to Australia and to the Australian Kabaddi team. Like, how was it and how all this happened?
Okay, nice, interesting question. So yeah, I came here with my family back in 2009. So I was like 16 years old or something. So when I was back home, when we used to go to school in Delhi, right? Well, basically, I'm from Haryana, so I'll give you a little bit of my background information. But I've studied in Delhi. Yeah, and in our time, with friends and after school, we used to just play kabaddi over there. That was the only sports we used to do. And if there is enough time, just we do some soccer or, just for time pass. But yeah, so when I start playing the kabaddi, I start involving in that game. Um, and then when I was back home, and when I went home back to Haryana, right? Basically, my friends and everyone was, you have to make a new friends. I wasn't speaking very well Haryanvi, because when you get to Haryana, you have to speak Haryanvi, right? So
I just love that accent. I just love that accent.
so yeah, and
Yeah,
I start playing cricket over there back then, and then something clicks in my mind, like I really wanted to play for the nation, and I really wanted to play for India, and my parents supposed to get in here, and they're asking me like, you should move with us, and I was all the time denying. I said, look, if I come with you guys, I cannot play for India, and I really wanted to play for India, and this is what I'm
yeah.
going to pursue. Yeah, because basically nobody was from the sports background in my family, and I was the first one. And yeah, but then I realized it, like, I better go over there. So I might, because if you compare like with the population thing, I might have more chances up here, right?
Yeah.
Which is the truth. So I got here and I started involving in school and everything, it was exciting, but nobody was playing kabaddi over here. So
Yeah, it's unique. It's unique. It's
yes, it's
really unique in
completely different
Australia.
sport. So I met some Punjabi friends, and they told me like, some people do kabaddi. I thought like that's gonna be the national style kabaddi, right? But they were doing the circle style. I said at least I can try that one. So I started to involve in that
Yeah.
one. Uh, After I finished my schooling, definitely, because I didn't know anybody like here, I was like random, and I was feeling homesick when I got here because I really wanted to come back to India that time. So yeah, and I involved in there, and we were like practicing circle style, and in our spare time we were doing some practice for the national style kabaddi. Yeah, that's how I got involved in the kabaddi more over here over the time. But then I thought like there might no chance that Australia going to represent or something in the future for kabaddi. But I was wrong, that happened in 2016, and I get to know that there's a trial going on. And yeah, I went for the trial. I waited for about a month or two to get to know like if I'm selected or not. And I left the hope, like, I might not get selected, right? But eventually I did. And yeah, then yeah, the journey started from there.
Okay. So the very first feeling that you want to represent your nation. So that feeling, first of all, that feeling came when you were in Haryana. Like
Yes, yes.
this is a natural thing. I guess this thing is in the air, of Haryana. Like we see many of our wrestlers,
Yeah.
most of the Kabaddi players are from there. The great captain Anup Kumar and many players are from there. So it's actually in the air of Haryana. Like you have that pride and emotion about your country, and you have to represent over there.
You
So,
can say
sir,
that.
yeah, when you got first, when you first got selected for the Australian Kabaddi team, and when you went home, what was the reaction of your family?
Yeah, they were excited. Nobody knew because I didn't tell anyone until I got
Okay,
selected. So yeah, it was exciting. They were happy, and I was like managing the things. Like I tell you one
yeah,
thing. Like when you are in Australia, right? It's very difficult. Work life, student life, and because I've been here for a long time, so I didn't have to go through too much, but definitely had to work, right? So I was doing my fitness study on the side, right? I was doing my work, and when I got selected, right? We don't get any support over here from the government. Like it was completely new. All uh, all the support that we got it in the beginning was from the Ascendant AFL club. So they are the one who has given us a space, or they have given us their stadium to like, okay, this is where we train. This is our team where we train, right? You can use that on the alternative days. And I used to come. I used to go in the morning to my workout thing in the gym and training. Then after that, go to work, finishing work, and then I have to come back to this training. So like, I have to manage my old things and all that. It was good. It was tiring, but when you love something, all these things doesn't matter.
yeah, yes.
So yeah.
Okay, so you got selected in the Australian team, and it was a very great thing for you and your family. But how was it exactly, sir? You talked about the IFL. Now we know that a lot of the attributes are pretty similar if we compare Kabaddi to IFL, like speed, tackling, dodging, etc. But still, it was a different game. So how it was for you to cope up with all your team members and to coordinate with them properly? Like everything was new, first of all, and representing the national team of Australia. So how
Right.
was that, sir?
It was good. Like and I didn't know much about that one. um Pretty much the training was same, right? I used to support one of the team,
Yeah.
and I start learning that game while I was over here, right? We used to play that footy. uh, I started like as soon as I came to Australia. I started that sport playing in my school time. And yeah, so pretty much the training was same. You had to be agile in terms of strength. Uh, you can call the strength. You have to have very active, like you have to have very agile. All these things. Yeah, but the thing was like some of the exercises like that we used to perform were completely different because you needed more strength, and with that with the kabaddi, you have to have more flexibility as well. And with the footy, the only difference
Yes.
was that you have to have more strongness and more active, not very flexibility that you needed in that footy, right? Because if you are more flexible, that's no point, because when you get bumped into the other player, right, you're gonna get hurt. You have to
Yeah.
have very strong and muscular, all that thing. So yeah, so that was the only thing was a bit different. But I would like to thank our coaches, right? They have done the fantastic job when we were in the training process and all that. You know, we used to hit the training twice a day, morning, evening, and yeah. So they have spent a lot of time on us to, to cope with all this training and make us better in terms of game. Uh, because we were like used to it, like, when I used to play footy over here, and I said like circle style kabaddi, right? The Punjabi style kabaddi is completely
Yes.
different. So you don't have to be agile, like, more flexible in there. You have to have strong body. So, that's one-on-one thing, kind of wrestling, you could
Yeah.
call.
Circle
Yeah.
style.
So yeah, so the coaches really worked hard on us to improve our flexibility in the terms of that. Yeah. So pretty much we made it.
Okay. So the two corners were Jasveer sir and Kuldeep sir, the
Yeah.
starting seven, and plus there were the two main Indian players from our India. The very first was our Srinivas Reddy sir. He was the coach
Yeah.
of the Australian team, and it was our former Indian captain, Mr. Navneet Gautam sir.
Yeah.
So the very first time when the Australian team was announced, we all were really excited to see the team. Like, oh my God, the Australian team is in Kabaddi. So like, we should have a look like how it will be. But it was moreover of that was a deep touch of Indians in the team. It was
Yeah.
more of an Indian background. So the team was very much, it was looking just like our Indian team.
Right.
So it was a really great thing to watch for.
No, it is because, like, when you come to Australia, like, there are more Indians over here than Australians. So the majority of Indians
Yeah.
are higher than compared to if you look at the Australians. So yeah, I mean, like, and it's good. Like, we have to leave so in a team and all these experienced players, and we could use them, right? And we were very lucky, to have a really experienced player. So they really elder than me, but you know um, they've been doing this professionally for a long period of time, and they knew what we are getting into, and they are preparing us mentally, helping us to improve, um, and all the other players as well. So which was great. Side by side, our coaches were doing a great job as well. So you can't say that, like, we are living in Australia, but like our background is Indian, but this country has given us so much. So
Definitely.
we're a part of Australia as well.
Yes, we all love to watch you all guys in the Australian jersey. Like it was more over like it was not exactly a different country. It was more like feeling just like our hometown. That was the feeling when we got when you guys first entered on the mat of the 2016 Kabaddi World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Because most of the players were from, I think, from the Indian background. I think half of the team was
Yeah.
from the Indian background, but like a home, but we were all team, like, I don't see like that, if where we come from and all that, we were playing for the nation, and that is more important for us, uh, you know, uh, because if you look like, oh yeah, they are from Indian background and all that, this thing doesn't work like that in sports. And and I was very fortunate. My favorite team from the AFL was Hawthorn, and our captain was the Hawthorn player as well. So I felt very proud when he was become the captain of our team. I was telling him, like, how much I followed this team, and I get to meet one of the players. That's the greatest feeling that I could have. So it was great.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm kind of a fanboy as well
Yes.
of my
Okay. So
players.
now just as you mentioned, the captain of the Australian team, Mr. Campbell Brand.
Yeah,
So even
Campbell Brown.
I'm also yes I'm also a great fan of his gameplay. Uh, but I just remember the very first raid. It was the very first match. It was India versus Australia,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So, sir, how was it like? You have been entered first time. You were the part of the national kabaddi team of Australia, and the very first match you were facing India in front of you. So, how was that feeling? How was it exactly?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. And like, when we got our schedule, like everybody was talking, India is the champion, and
Yeah.
we are just a completely new team, and we're gonna get in. But we never thought like, we're gonna lose, because if you keep make your mind, like, like we were just telling, keep ourselves like, we're gonna give our best. We don't care, like, what will be the results, and we're gonna just focus on teamwork, and we do our best, and yeah, that's what we did. But India, it's very it was different. Yeah, we did our best, and we try to make it up to that level in the match. So everybody did a great effort. Uh,
So, my favorite moment of the match was when Kuldeep sir did a super raid
right.
the very first time. That was the best moment.
Uh, yeah, there's a lot of memories that, yes, to talk about. So yes.
Sir, I've watched all those behind the scenes things and everything about the Australian team before the
Right.
Kabaddi World Cup. Like
Right.
everything, I've researched a lot, and
Yes,
the
like you
best
did a
part
lot
of
of
it
hard.
was the best part of it was the way Srini sir and a former captain Mr. Navneet Gautam, they both created a very unique environment in the Australian team, and the bonding was so great. Plus, I also saw the interviews of all the players, and that level of confidence, and everything was so nice. It was feeling like a very great team. So far,
Right.
and as it was first time entering in the international phase, and directly you guys are playing the World Cup, it was a very big thing.
It was because, see, most of our players, like, Dominic, Nick, and the other players were like, they were completely new to the game, and the way they were coming into the training, because we all were working that time, right? And it's like you cannot live a life, you have to do something, right? Even you're doing the sports, you have to work on the side to make a living out of here. It's not like India, until you finish your studies, that your parents keep helping you and all that. Um, that's it. Over here, as soon as you turn 18, you are on your own. You work hard, and you make your living, and apart with the side of this, you have to, if you love anything, you wanted to pursue, you have to give a time to that one. It's very hectic, and but those guys really wanted to do something, and we all wanted to do something in it, right? So we were putting our full effort in the terms of trying to manage our time with work, sports. We were not skipping any days, or like that. um, and we were training really hard. We were just repeating the practice, like, if you wanted to get better in these things, like, just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. So that's what we were doing when we were doing training, to make ourselves better. And yes, eventually, and obviously, like, when you get these experienced coaches, they know uh, who they are going to select, and they know, they saw the skills on all of us, because they are the one who has to decide, or I don't know who were at the back, but I believe that it's, I think the coaches decided, like, these are the people that they can do something. They are the ones
Yes.
who can put their all effort, who can make Australia proud, and I don't know what they see in us. And yeah, and from there the journey all started. So it was great. It was great. You know, it's it's hard to tell you the whole, like, you know, it's lot. It's
Yeah.
lot. So it was fun, you know, it was great, you know. And the thing is, like, you know, every single player in our team was so focused, you know, so determination, you know, they knew, like, you know, okay, yes, we want to do this and we will give our best. And, you know, we all were coming from work doing 8, 10-hour, 12-hour shifts, right? After finishing work, we're coming to the training, going back home. Then we are training time to rest for a period of time. But, you know, everything pays off. Like, as I said in the beginning, when you love something, all these things don't really matter. All it matters, like, you know, what you pursue. So I remember one of uh, the dialogue from in his
Om Shanti
movie.
Om.
Yeah, yeah. So when you love something
कभी किसी
from the bottom
कभी
of your
किसी चीज
heart,
को किसी
yes,
शिद्दत से चाहो
yes,
जो
and
पूरी कायनात उसे आपसे मिलाने की.
exactly, and exactly that is so true. That is so true. I
Yeah.
I was, I think, I don't remember where when I saw this movie. I think I was here. And that moment I saw that movie, you know, and yeah, and I said, like, you know, I know that I wanted this, you know, to play for the nation and all these things. But, you know, and when I saw that movie and the dialogue, that hit me really hard.
Yeah, there are a lot of life
Yes,
moments like that.
yes,
When we
yes.
really from the bottom of our heart, when you really, stick to that thing, it
Yeah,
feels like, directly hits you up somewhere.
right. Yes, definitely. Because
Yeah.
see, you know, you are your biggest supporter, you know, that's what I
Yeah.
believe, you know, because people will come and they say, look, you know, what, you know, why you are wasting time. And people still tell us now, you know, like, why you still, you know, training, you know, why you do this, you know, just forget about it, go pursue, do something else, you know. uh, why you are wasting your time? You could have, you know, utilized this, the time you're giving to your training and all that. You could have done something better. I said, you know, when you love something, it doesn't matter, you know. It's not all about money, it's not all about fame, it's not about anything. It's about something that you really enjoy doing it, you know, that what makes me happy, you know. And yes, so we like, okay, it might gonna take time. That Australian team is going uh, to get better over the time, yes, because we definitely need some support from our government, because at the moment, like, you know, we all players organize, you know, a place to train for ourselves. So yeah, it makes it very difficult. We all have to make a time out, you know. So yeah, all these things. So yeah, so if you get like, you know, it's in India, the good thing is that, you know, how the government put a lot of effort for their team, you know, give them a lot of support, because, you know, that's what they do full time. And over here, we don't have this opportunity, you know. We have to make our time uh, to do something like this. So yes, uh, yeah, so let's see how it goes in future.
Definitely, sir. The Australian Kabaddi team has a very bright future, and it really reflects it from right now.
Yeah.
Plus, sir, in India, it's really opposite. The Australian team is being loved so much. I don't know how much you know, but me and along with all of my friends, when we sit and we just have a normal chit chat,
Right.
we almost, somewhere the 2016 World Cup comes up. I don't know from how where it comes, but we start discussing about that. And the main highlight of that is the Australian team. Most of the time, we discuss about that. The
I
very
think.
first match, sir, uh, yeah, we can say that it was okay, a very big lead. India won with a very big lead, but the the thing which the inputs which were given from the Australian team, it was really unremarkable. Like we cannot say exactly. The only thing where the Australian team lagged, I guess so, is in the defense. Because in the very first match, the Australian team then got a point in defense. They were good in raiding though, but defense was lagging behind at some point. What are your views on it?
The way we've been training before, it was like more of like, as I said, most of the players that we were playing over here was a circle style kabaddi, and over there how we does it, and even in the footy, right, that we were playing, um, just for the locals. Is that you tackle, like, you just go, like, you know that you have to grab the ball from other person, or in a kabaddi, punjabi style kabaddi, like circle style kabaddi, I would say, you go one on one, it's like, so that
Yes.
habit was still, we had that habit, and we were making sure that we could overcome as soon as possible to improve that. But we had very short period of time, but we were trying our best on every moment. That, it's because the national style kabaddi is like, it's kind of a team effort, so one person is coming from there, so other has to come too.
That has to
Like,
come. There should be a
because
contact.
once you do something for a long period of time, that becomes your habit, and it
Yeah.
takes time to to change that habit and adapt to the new habit, right? So we didn't had that enough time to to completely change our previous habits and bring the new one in. But from our side, all the players have put full effort. We did our best to overcome that, but still, somewhere we did lag a little bit, and that is why our defense wasn't that good.
No, no, sir. The match was really great. And although it was the first match, the Australian team was representing. Plus, the second match was England versus Australia. In there was also, but the point score was a bit different from if we compare it to India team. But the actual contribution of the coaches and the dedication of the players, all these things, they just compiled, and we got to see that in the third match, which was Australia versus Argentina.
Yes, yes.
Like whatever the lead was going on within the first two matches, all that just got covered in a single match. After winning that match, what was the feeling? How was the feeling? How did you guys celebrate it? Like it was your first win in the international match.
Yeah, it was a great feeling, I think I know that it's we get to know this, that so it was a great thing, and we get to know, like, if
Yes.
we keep working hard and keep improving ourselves, right? And we were talking when we were like, we went back again, after the match, whole team was sitting with coaches and everyone. We were talking like, beating India is not that hard. We can do this,
Yeah.
we can do this.
Yes. That was the confidence I was talking about.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was the conversation we were having. But like, it might gonna take time, but yes, if we pursue kabaddi full time, right, over here, we're not doing anything else. If we're gonna train like how Indian players, how South Koreans, how Iraqi players train, Bangladeshis are trained. They do full time.
Yeah.
They basically morning, eat, sleep, and train. And with this nation, these oceanic countries here, this is not like this here. It's completely different. So we knew that we can easily do that thing, we can beat that. But one day definitely, we will put our efforts, if not us, if not us, the future players will do that. But that is our dream, to beat the champions.
That's actually a reality, which is going to, which will definitely be one day real. I'm sure about it. I'm sure about that. And
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
India, the whole world is really sure about it.
We were happy. We were not like, even when we lost matches, our heads were still up high, and it's okay. It's a part of the game. If we would have enough time, like other countries to train, we could have done it better. After that, there's another kabaddi league over here, not the one, we went for the World Cup. There was another team, so we do play for that one, and the Australia comes in the Oceania. So we go New Zealand to play. We went to Thailand, to play games. So good to know that the other group is also trying to because it's called the Oceania International Kabaddi or something organization. So it's a non-profit, it's a private organization, and then I'm really thankful for those guys as well. So those guys are putting their time, they're investing their money on us as well, and training us and all that. These things are happening. So eventually, let's see, over the time that will definitely grow. But this COVID situation hit it really hard. Because we couldn't train over here at all. Unfortunately, last time the Australian team got the offer, right? But I don't know, somehow I don't have all the information, but somehow we get to know that someone denied from the officials for not to select Australian team. In the Pro Kabaddi. It was from Australia. They were from Australia who denied that, but we got that offer from the Pro Kabaddi League officials.
Soon, sir, soon we are gonna see Australian players in a Pro Kabaddi League.
We need a better management, I think. That's what I would say. Like, we need a better management. So, that can work really hard on us, like our coaches.
So when the announcement of the Kabaddi World Cup, after the announcement, so when the training camp started, so what were the things you changed a lot? Means you have to change, you have to look for your diet, you have to look for your fitness, plus there are a lot of things you have to go through. So sir, what were the actual problems which you tackled? Instead of tackling players in the mat, there are a lot of problems you need to tackle over there too.
Well, the training part was more important because in the terms of dieting, yes, we were still eating good over here. Like personally myself, I was eating healthy, like try to avoid any sugary things, or that time I was I think around 74, 8, something like this. So I didn't have to deal with that too much. With that, but yes, more focused on the high protein diet. Yeah, it's keep changing, you in the diet perspective, like, I don't stick with one diet all the time. So I keep it always on and off. Sometimes intermittent fasting, sometimes I have like a proper dieting, having 6 meals a day. It depends, when you get bored, because you cannot have a dieting all the time,
Yes, you have to change, you have to make changes.
Yes.
But sir, being a Jat, it's like more of a family project. They're like, oh beta desi ghee kha, doodh, makhan, and all, everything. So it was, how it's like more like a thing.
They still like, that they still have always insisting, come on, man, eat, come on, eat this. I said, no, it's okay. I know you guys, what I eat, you guys don't eat it, but it's okay. I can make myself, I can eat this. So yeah, but now and then I might try to have a little bit of cheat things as well. Still, it's a habit.
Which is your favorite cheat meal, sir? That a meal from which you cannot, you cannot give up that meal. Like you want it. You cannot just leave that. Tell me one of your cheat meal.
That's a very good question, right? I love pizza, right? I really wanted to eat pizzas. If I start eating pizzas, right, I can eat like 5 or 6 large pizzas at one time.
That's a very good appetite you have, sir.
Yeah, I love food, but you can't eat all the time. You have to give
there are a lot of sacrifices you have to make.
Yes.
Okay, so all those emerging players, if you want to wear your national team jersey, these are all the sacrifices you have to make.
Have to, like,
and I guess it's pretty mandatory.
When I ate pizza last time, I don't remember, like, honestly, I tell you, like in this lockdown, I was doing a cheat meal, but like I was still, like, when I was doing the cheat meal, I was more focused on my calorie intake. So I
Yeah,
even like, so if I'm eating something unhealthy, so I have to make sure that, I'm not exceeding my calories. So
yeah,
it's
you have
a
to stay
good
within
level.
those.
So like, even if I eat like, let's say one cookie, right? One cookie contains around 200, 300 calories, right?
Okay, so
It's
you need to
gone.
cut
Like,
down on
if I eat salad, I get a full plate of a salad, right?
that.
Um, a
Yeah,
good chicken, 100 gram or 50 gram of chicken you can have, or 200 gram of chicken. So it's actually a healthy meal, but like putting a cookie and putting that big meal,
stomach
it's,
would be definitely empty.
so
You
I
have to
have to
eat more
skip
for
that.
that.
If I had a cookie, okay, no. And today as well, like I was like, my calorie intake is already about 1400. So I'm trying to make sure
Oh.
that I go with up to 2000, and that's it. So that is my limit for the day.
In between, we have to stay in deficit. Sometimes we eat surplus, so we have to, properly maintain that schedule.
Yes, it depends, like, what kind of training you are doing, what if like in kabaddi, definitely you have to maintain the weight, right? So people can eat anything they want, right? But as long as they can making sure that they're not exceeding their calories intake, because for a normal person, how much is the calorie intake? Like for you and me, it was 2000 to 2500. So if I have to maintain my weight, I have to make sure that I'm not exceeding my calories more than 2000 to 2200, right? But if I have to make sure that if I have to drop my weight, I have to cut down that calorie intakes. And being with the Indian food, in an Indian family, you eat one meal, right? Gives you like about 1000 or 1200 calories, and you eat 3 times a day. You
There's
actually
a lot of
expend
carbs in our Indian diet.
high carbs and high saturated
Yeah.
fat and trans fat. They know good. Though they if you really need the fat, just look for something healthy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, something, there is a saying, healthy things, they don't taste good. uh,
We learned a lot from you.
yeah.
I hope so that a lot of Indian people and all those emerging people for the kabaddi, they will definitely include your diet plan in their lifestyle, and it will definitely help them.
Well, I would
Okay.
just say, I would
Yeah.
just say to them, just whatever suits you, because everybody's body is different,
Yeah.
so eat whatever you like, but make sure you train hard so you can burn your fat.
Yes. 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 Okay, sir. So I would like to ask you, who is your inspiration for kabaddi?
Uh, for kabaddi, that's a
Yes.
very good question. My coaches, because they
Coach.
always keep telling me, like, uh, when I met them, is they always says, if we can do it, you can do it too, and they believed in us. That is the more important thing, and I can never forget that, how strict they were. You know uh they get angry, like, they one day I was like a minute late for the training, and they were really pissed off, and they punished me for doing some rounds, or push things, and they make me exhausted,
Yeah.
those things. But yes, they know, like, what they are into. And yeah, so my coaches, they always believed in me. That is the more important thing. um, from
Sport.
these great legends, it's an honor, it's a pride, you know so yeah.
So when we start a sport, there is always this one person whom we see a lot and we take a lot of inspiration from him. We follow a sport person from that niche, from that same gameplay. So who was that sport person when you firstly started playing kabaddi?
I used to watch Navneet Gautam coach videos a lot on the internet. I used to follow his game and technique. I used to ask him, how you do this, I really want to learn that one thing, from you. So yeah, and he said, like, you will take time, but over the period of time, if you keep working on it, you keep practicing, you will get there. But we don't get to see each other a lot because they are in India. He offered me
Yes.
many times that I try to go and meet them, like to my coaches over there, try to spend time with them, try to learn them. Their doors are always open for me, so every time I go there, I learn from them. So which is a great thing.
Yeah. Okay. So you watch Pro Kabaddi?
If it's like most of the time highlights I do watch because it does come at very late at night,
Yeah.
and then I go to work.
So
All the,
which player is your favorite player from Pro Kabaddi?
from Pro Kabaddi.
Tell me a raider
Okay, current
and tell
player.
me your favorite defender. Yes, maybe current player, maybe the player who got retired, any player. But tell me the best raider and the best defender whom you admire the most.
Manjeet Chilla,
Okay,
the
for the
best
defender, right?
defender.
Uh,
Yes, he's really good. Uh, yes, I get to meet him as well, so I was very excited when I met him. Sandeep Narwal,
as a raider,
and a defender as well. Raider
both are
was
both the both
Rahul.
players.
Raider
Rahul
was
Chaudhary.
Rahul
Rahul
Chaudhary.
Chaudhary.
Yes, he's good, man. He's
He's the
good.
raid machine. He's the raid machine.
Yes. So I gave you two
Yeah,
names for the defenders, but Rahul Chaudhary for the raid machine.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, his skills is exceptional. He has done a lot of hard work. I saw him. I met him as well during the time of this World Cup in 2016, and his training was really intense. So, and he's very focused on dieting and all these things. So yes,
Sir, moreover, you like to defend, if I'm not wrong.
yes, I like to defend. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, in defense, you would mostly like to cover you like the position of right corner.
I was more likely in the right corner, but they were moving me around, so I think I can. I prefer right or the left corner. So these are
Okay.
my two strong.
There are very few people, those who can do both, right as well as the left side.
Yeah,
So,
um,
which is your favorite move in defense?
mine
Yes,
ankle
just like
hold.
the ankle hold is your favorite.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, what do you think? Which is the toughest part? Is ankle hold a bit tough or the dash?
Uh, Dash. I don't know what ankle hold. Yes, ankle hold is a bit tough because the grape, like how they when you hold the ankles, like and they because legs has more strength than your arms,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes.
easy to kick you away, and that
Yes.
thing, where if and if you don't have that good grip, it slips away.
And for me, ankle hold is the toughest part, sir, because at times it's a very risky step. Like it can lead to a very heavy point for
Yeah,
the
because
opposite team.
it does, and because you know that it could cause if the grip is not good, it could cause you an injury because the how they do a scorpio kick, right? And
Yeah.
all you know and when you are holding it, when your face is too close to them, and when they're throwing their leg backwards to to get rid of you, it could hurt you, and gives you serious injuries too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the great explanation. Now, I won't take much of your time. At the last, I just want, can you give a message to all those emerging players in India in Hindi?
In Hindi.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want me to say?
So anything. It's just uh, all those emerging players, those who want their future in kabaddi. So a good message for them.
Um, I'll say in both. Like, if you love something, if you're really passionate about, you don't have to care about haters, people who criticize you, people who don't believe you. Just make sure, like, you have to be stubborn as well, if you really wanted someone, because if you can get affected because of someone else, what they are thinking about you, and then you are not strong enough to pursue that thing. So in just believe in yourself, focus. There's going to be a good and hard times, right? But it's all up to you how you're going to handle them and how you're going to overcome to the situation and make your dream come true. uh, yes, yeah, Hindi में अपने हिंदी में अपने पैशन को फॉलो करो, डजंट मैटर भाई, जो भी कोई भी कुछ बोलता है, डोंट लिसन टू देम, नो stay positive, or work hard, train hard, and believe that in yourself. अपने आप पे भरोसा रखो. तो that is more important, because when nobody believes in you, you are the only person who can believe in yourself, and you have to stand for yourself, that yes, I want it, and there is nothing that will stop you to achieve what you really wanted. And that is my dream, and it's something that I was really passionate about. Yeah, so I believed in myself. So that is why I tell everybody, when nobody believes in you, just you are the only one. Believe in yourself and keep going through, because there's always going to be a hard time. There's no success without a failure. Like they say, oh, you don't make money out of it. It's not about money. It's about your love towards something that you really like, you enjoy. Yeah, and I was very fortunate when I played 2016 World Cup. Right, in 2017 I get to represent India in Australian Football League. So I was very fortunate. So I get to play for two nations.
Yeah,
So,
I know that. I know.
so I always wanted to represent India when I was in India. When I came to Australia, I always wanted to represent Australia, and both the dreams come true. So I did represent both the nations, so which is a great thing.
Yeah, it was that's a really unique opportunity. I don't think everyone would get that type of thing.
Yeah, you could say that. Yes, I was very lucky.
Okay, so thank you so much for taking your time out and discussing all these things. Like, we all learned a lot from you, and I hope so. Whatever the life lessons you gave us, all the youngsters will apply them into their life.